So welcome everyone. Thank you for having us. We heard so much about all different kind of strategies of all the companies. So he said, okay, let's talk about something else because our strategy is quite the same as the one of many of yours. So we said, let's talk about creating awareness because that's actually the key how we'd like to reach and be able to transform our business. And yes, just before we start, we are in the beginning, so we'd just like to share the experiences we made so far, and maybe you can learn or take away something that is our main goal today. And so maybe we start by introducing ourselves. My name is Jung. I'm working for Würth in Germany. I'm responsible for communication, writing sustainability report, but I'm also working a lot together with other departments such as logistics and sales.
Yeah, and I'm Alexander Shevelov, or only Alex. I'm sustainability strategy developer and controller, so I'm integrating sustainability ideas and criteria in the daily business of our company and the daily business of the colleagues.
Good. So today we first start with a short introduction of who we are, who is Würth, before we shortly talk about our transformation, and then there will be the main focus point on how or what do we do in order to create awareness. So we are the Würth Group. Maybe some of you know the company already. We are a global market leader for fastening materials. We're also a family company, so we're also spread all around the world in over 6 continents, 88 nations, and also we consist in over 400 companies, what makes it really complex. And this is also why we picked out one of the companies in order to make this more tangible for you today when we talk about creating awareness. Otherwise, we have more than 40,000 suppliers and we have around 83,000 employees in our Würth Group. It all started back 1945 when Adolf Würth founded the company. Back then, it was only a 2-man per company. It was him and his son. A few years later, he passed away, sadly, and so his son took over the company. And over the years, he expanded the company, he internationalized it, so it became a market leader today. And yes, so much as a short introduction of the Würth Group. Coming to the company we picked out today, it's the Adolf Würth GmbH & Co. KG. It's the parent company of the whole Würth Group. And since last year, we are also responsible for implementing a strategy for the entire group, apart from the one we have for the company itself. We are around 7,500 people here, and we're based in Künzelsau in Germany. We're making a sales from 2.1 billion euros a year, so meaning the economy pillar of sustainability is quite fine already. And also the social part is quite good because it's anchored in our strategy since the beginning. We're doing a lot of things as, for example, art and cultural activities. And this is why we said, okay, we really need to focus on the ecological part. And this is why we're here today also to speak about what we're doing and what is our main focus points. So if we want to be successful in the next few years and also in the long term, it's really important that we change the way how we're doing business. We need to transform our whole business model because there's so many things that change. We have new requirements from our customers. We have new legal requirements which we need to meet. And so there's a lot going on, and this is why we said, okay, what do we want to do? What is our strategy? And this is when we came up with those 3 strategic fields for us, our transformation fields. We have on the left the climate neutrality, which means that we want to become climate neutral on the long run. It means that we don't want to emit any greenhouse gases anymore. In the middle, we have the material cycles, which means that our goal is that we want to decouple our growth from the resources that we use. And also we have the social point, the social standards, which means that we don't want to abandon anyone, neither people or region. So these are our strategic fields. We also have set 2 goals for the company on which we are working at right now. The first one is that we want to become climate neutral in scope 1 and 2 by 2024, because here we have the data already. Scope 3 is evolving currently. And the second big goal means that we want to become circular until 2030. So it's a big goal, and it underlines that we're really just in the middle of transforming a whole business. And yes, so now the question is, what do we require, what do we need in order to be successful with the transformation? And so I come back to the point of the data, which we just heard from Hornbach. Yeah, it starts with data, because I need data in order to know what is my status quo, where am I on the right track, am I fast enough, am I not fast enough? So it all starts with collecting data in order to have like a standpoint. But also the second part, which is really, really important in order to succeed transformation, is the human being. We need to educate the people. We need to get them to know how, because they are the ones who need to understand the data. They need to see, okay, is it good? Is it bad? What does it mean for us? Do we need to have a project? And so it's really important that we create awareness about, within the company, also internally as externally. And those are the 2 main focus points in order for us that we can control and be able to succeed with the transformation. So let's have a deep dive into creating awareness and what we're doing in order to create awareness in our company. We started 2 years ago. We established an international sustainability committee within the Adolf Würth GmbH and Co. KG, with the aim of that we wanted people to come together to talk about the projects which are going on in each of the departments, because beforehand every department was working on their projects, but there was not really the connection. So we have members from various departments, from R&D, we have from marketing, we have from sales, we have from logistics, and we meet 3 times a year for about 2 hours. And we talk about the projects that are going on. We talk about the progress which have been made, so just that everyone knows what's going on within the company. Also regarding that, we discussed on what can we actually do in order that the people in our companies, our employees, well, they understand the topic, what is sustainable, and how can we make it more present, and how can we create the awareness. And so we had a huge discussion about this topic, and the main result was that we should start making the topic tangible, because everybody's talking about CO2 emissions and everything, but you can see it, you can't touch it, and so it's pretty difficult, I think, for many people to understand what we're actually doing all the time. And so this was one key point, and the other key point was that we have to show what we're doing in the company, because when you talk to the people who work in our logistics, they probably know what we're doing in the field of logistics, but they don't know what we're doing in terms of marketing, in terms of product management. And so we said, okay, we need to create the awareness of what is the whole company doing already. And there is many cool projects. And so this is why we said, okay, let's do a sustainability day. It's a sustainability day where we want to achieve those 2 points. We want to make it tangible, and we want to show what is going on in the company already. And so we brought a video today to show you quite shortly what this means and how it looked like.
Bei Würth leben wir das Thema Green Office ja schon eine Zeit lang. Also was ich auf jeden Fall mitnehme, ist, dass mir nicht bewusst war, an wie vielen Stellen bei Würth tatsächlich schon an dem Thema Nachhaltigkeit geschraubt wird. Eindrücklich war das vor allem an der Anzahl der Kolleginnen und Kollegen, die hier durchliefen und die ganzen Stände betreut haben, aber auch die vielen unterschiedlichen Stationen.
Also das Seedbomb bauen, muss ich sagen, hat erstaunlich viel Spaß gemacht. Das im Matschspielen ist wohl irgendwie so ein Kindheitsding, das hängen geblieben ist. Auch das Bienenhotel, weil wir standen da und dann kam wirklich eine Biene angeflogen, war aber auch nicht schlecht. Und ich muss sagen, das Eis war leider doch dann auch so gut, dass es für mich auf jeden Fall ein Highlight geblieben ist am Ende.
Also der Tag hat mir auf jeden Fall heute wieder gezeigt, aus dem tiefen Gedanken einmal wieder bewusst zu werden, quasi was für seinen ökologischen Fußabdruck zu machen, der Umwelt entgegenzukommen und einfach selbst mit kleinen Dingen darauf zu achten, quasi, wie man der Umwelt was Besseres tun kann.
So yes, that was our first sustainability day we had in June this year. We got a lot of good feedback and the people were really happy. They noticed like how much is going on already. So it's probably not the last day we made. So maybe next year or the year afterwards there will be a next one. Exactly. Further continued with internal. So as you probably all have, we have so many different kind of channels on which we can communicate about everything that's going on in the company. But the thing is that you need to continuously communicate. When you communicate once and you stop, the people don't understand everything. So you just really need to communicate week by week by week about the topics. So this is actually what we do. We have like different kind of channels we use in order to communicate with our employees, to show them what is the project, what is the progress we made. And also we have, as I mentioned before, a sustainability report, which comes out every 2 years. So this year it came out as well, but it has 130 pages. And when we're being realistic, the employees don't read 130 pages of sustainability report. Probably I wouldn't read it either when it wouldn't be my job. So yeah, what we're trying to do is, in the end, when we publish the report, we try to break it down into small bites, and we take one project every single week out, and then we discuss the project within our intranet, for example, and we say, okay, what's going on? What is the project about? And so it's easier to digest for the people, and it's easier to keep track of them, what is going on in the company. So I think these are two key factors which we should look about. But also, regarding, this was a lot of general communication, it's also really important to be more specific, to be more targeted to each of the departments. So what we're doing right now, and also Alex is doing a lot, is we're going into deep dive with each of the departments in order to anchor also sustainability in each of them, in order also to raise awareness. So what we're doing is we have workshops, we have trainings, in particularly for this kind of department. And what's quite cool is if you work together with them, and also when you implement strategies and you work together, the commitment rises a lot. Also, they're really motivated to bring their own to bring their own projects, because they come up with ideas and they say, hey, it's pretty cool, what do you think about this and that? So we have a lot of new projects emerging right now, and it makes really a lot of fun working with the people together. And I think these are like some of the key factors or the experiences we made so far with creating awareness regarding the internal way. And so I hand over to you.
Thank you. I guess this slide shows very good that we left the area which we had played the last years, making sustainability very, fancy, tangible, but more as a marketing communication mission or project. And this slide showed that we left this area. Now we're we're forcing together our company to integrate sustainability in the core business. And that's a real change, living add-on communication marketing projects more to how can we transform or how can we integrate sustainability in every of our core businesses. Because, planting a tree together with some product manager is nice, but changing the daily business, that's a big pain point. And we will do, and we started to do this year. We are pretty like a young and new department, working like since 2 or 3 years on this topic. We had now for the whole group, having now 4 or 5 people together on this topic internally, but also with our value chain, because as a wholesaler, we are depending on different partners around the world, around this value chain. And the scope 3, for example, that's a big pain for us, because we are buying products. Of course, we have also manufacturing parts and things like that, but we are buying products. So we are depending on different suppliers from different world. And the point was, I'd like to show you today, that how we started to transform or to integrate sustainability communication of the effort of our supply chain and the whole supply chain. And I will not show you some fancy marketing communication, because it's not my business. I will try to show you how can we create sustainability as a main pillar, and to convince our suppliers, who is sometimes not seeing this like as a main pillar, to bring this data, to communicate us this data, because our main strategy or our main aim is to inform or to create awareness regarding our customers, because we have a lot of customers. We have a very trustworthy relationships with our customers, and our customers in our B2B market, it's not enough to send them some green products, they're not impressed by them. They are customers who are expecting very solid, very detailed information on the product level. And we have B2B customers who are not aware regarding sustainability, but without this customer preference, we are not able to make this real change. So 2 main points: how to make happy big customers who are very well developed in sustainability strategies, and how to convince customers who are not seeing sustainability as USP. And we started, considering what are our main pillars, and of course these 3: suppliers, employees, and customers. As a wholesaler, depending on these 3 main players along the value chain. And I only summarize briefly in this short sentence what are, for example, the challenges on the left side, on my right side, left side. That's what we experience, because we are working also as internal and external consulting department, and we are having thousands of calls and meetings with the different suppliers in different industry areas. And what I was experiencing the last 1.5 years working for Würth, that it's still a lack of awareness, which needs additional effort with no clear benefits. So how can you convince someone to do things when there's someone not seeing the benefit in the short and the long term? And the second point was, okay, if our suppliers, also a big challenge, what about our employees? I mean, you showed this amazing video. It shows how happy we're now acting. And I guess we are already, after 4 or 5 years working, before this department was established on this topic, our head of sustainability started before this department was established, to convince people, to the management board, the CEO, the family, the employees. But then we started to work to try to transform their daily business. And it is a big challenge, because now they have to integrate sustainability data, for example, product management. They have to obtain, to process, to communicate, to manage the data where the benefit is not clear. And that is one of our big challenges now, one of my big projects, to harmonize sustainability strategies, our main vision, for example, circular economy by 2030, with a classy linear economy thinking of people who are working since 20 or 30 years. And This is one of the biggest challenge, but happy to have the support from the family, from our CEO, and from the whole employees. And the last one, our customers from all over the world, thousands of customers in different countries. And the question is here, it's not like fancy formulated question, but that's my question what I'm hearing every day from our different countries. What data should I provide to which customers, and parallel to this, in compliance with country-specific guidelines? So a climate neutral product with the tree is not enough for Sweden companies. They are waiting or expecting more detail, like a safety sustainable data sheet where you have 20 or 1,000 of data. Because we also selling chemical products, and a chemical product to be sustainable is not easy. Yes, that are the challenges, but we started to create solution. Same thinking like you already presented internally. So we have all these tools. So we're working with different service providers. We having also started to integrate specific, well-constructed management strategies. Which you can read in amazing books. What I studied for 6 years. But the main point is to harmonize the well-constructed theory management with labor-oriented and tangible processes. Because if you work with thousands of small or medium enterprises with a 50 or 100 men, women companies, they are not aware regarding this point, sustainability, and they do not have the money, do not have the people to work on this topic, and do not see the benefit. Yeah. And we started, of course, using these platforms and sending them Excel files, where say you can put some CO2 data and non-recyclable data. But the main thing or main pillar which we're using, we having training. So we started to realize if we are kind of market leader in this industry, and there's no one who started to collect this small players, this suppliers, and to start a community, a cooperation with them. Because we need them, we are depending on them, so we started to train them for free sometimes. Of course, we're offering also very specific trainings, but we started to collect the suppliers and to help them to understand this point, So we started to create, for example, project where a blockchain project with IBM and several suppliers, where we help them to understand what are the main pain points in your supply chain, because we need their data, but some of our suppliers are not aware about their entire end-tier supply chain. So, and that was one of the main businesses, to try to incentivize suppliers, to help them, to support them financially with the knowledge, and to create like a common language. The second point is employees. They have the awareness, they are ready, they like this topic, they like to plant trees, but we need also their help. The help to integrate, for example, product managers. Very simple example. If they are buying products regarding the classic KPIs, price, quality, and maybe some logistic topics. But what about social standards? We as a German company, we will be affected from the Lieferketten-Sorgfaltspflichtengesetz, supply chain due diligence. So it's not the right, proper way to buy a product and often realizing, oh shit, this product is not very social. So we have to integrate this assessment in the beginning. And we started not to push them. We started to create a kind of own assessment administration, our team. We're having like 2 or 3 people who are a kind of core team, and we assess every product which should be communicated sustainable towards customers, or should be communicated to our suppliers. It will be assessed from our side first. So we have kind of administration who allow to say this product is sustainable based on different rules, different internal assessment metrics, which we developed in the last year. And it helped us to create a clear, a solid, and not greenwashing communication. So our main target, not to say this product is recyclable, but more to explain the customer why it's recyclable. Because our customers do not need these marketing things. They need data. And of course, communication customers, As our main mission, be transparent. I mean, we are a kind of hidden champion. We are working for decades with customers who trust us, and it's fine to say, by some products, I cannot deliver your CO2 footprint, but I'm transparent to them. We are trying to, of course, to develop a kind of data sheet. So in the future, we'll have our data sheet, like a safety data sheet, where every product will have information over, I guess, 10, 20, or like kind of APD. I guess you know what APD is, Environmental Product Declaration. We are targeting the same, combining EPDs, LCA with internal assessment, and create very simple, but yeah, with a lot of information, a data sheet who will explain the customer in which area of sustainability value chain this product might be sustainable. Yeah. And the second point is, some customers are happy regarding this data sheet, some customers I do not understand. So our main also target is to help them to understand. I mean, I had 2 weeks before, I guess, 3 calls with our customers who asked me, how should I work with this data of you? I mean, nice to have this, but I don't understand. What about the supply chain law? So we are trying to help and offer training and collaboration with our customers. For example, next week we are going with a colleague who's all sitting here to another customer, and we'll work on a kind of circular economy project, because this change have to be forced and accelerate together. You know, as a wholesaler, we are also depending on them. Yeah, that's a brief overview. Yes, I hope it was not overwhelming from my side to put everything here on one slide. But yeah, that's our main mission now, trying to create or integrate our vision and the vision of different value chains in our partner. And I'm looking forward to present you maybe next year new progresses. And the last slide. Should I? Should you? Should I? I can start. That's very briefly. I mean, we're good in time. Very briefly, we summarize what we are actually doing every day. I mean, before I started my work at Würth, I was not expecting that I will also kind of relationship management human being when working with different departments and try to convince them to work together. And but that's our main task every day. Of course, we are, how you already explained very well, you know, do not say, I mean, I all started with the circular economy, 9 R's with our suppliers and management board. They don't understand what is 9 R's. I mean, please, could you transform your products in more recyclable and more tangible and longevity products, but why and how? And that's like in the small bites, you know, take a small project to show the people that even if you have a screw, we did with a screw the CO2 from our first product. We started with a screw as our like symbolic product. We assessed the whole LCA thing for our screws, and it was a project of 6 months, but it helped understand us and our colleagues. How does it work in the future? And of course, strategy together, no more add-on strategies. Do not, I mean, every strategy what we are developing in our office, we are going to our head of suppliers, head of product, and trying to harmonize this both. Communication. It's not enough to send PowerPoints. It's very important, what I'm actually doing since months. Going to different departments and talking like 8 hours about the topic. But let's talk, please, also them with you. Listen to them, be empathic. That's very important. Understand their pain points. Obtain feedback from your suppliers, from your customers, from your colleagues. Their feedback is more necessary than your feedback sometimes. Continuous communication. This is very important. Show the people what you're doing, how you're doing. Be transparent. It's okay if you're not. We'll finish your deadline. And I mean, that's a good also point for today. And our last point, networking. And I guess we finish with our slides. Thank you for your time, and looking forward to our discussion.